All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and many people have been asking me to give my thoughts and opinions on Iron Banner Rift. Obviously, this is a new iteration to Destiny 2, bringing Rift to Iron Banner, that is. Obviously, Rift is a game mode that existed in Destiny 1, and I did play it quite a bit and actually did like the game mode Rift. And just as a side note, does anyone else remember this? This has been so long, but you could actually walk the Rift in backwards in D1 and you'd get like extra points. I kind of wish that was a thing in this one too, but I guess it doesn't work that way because you just get one score. But I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions of Iron Banner Rift and the Iron Banner revamp. So, just as a quick disclaimer, though, I am going to skip over the bugs and issues. Obviously, there was a huge reputation bug. Bungie definitely needs to work on these things. I don't know where the playtesting is at and how they overlook stuff like that. There's also some giant bugs with the actual Rift itself disappearing in the match, which is painful because then you just run around for, up to, 5, 8 minutes or whatever, just waiting for the match to end. In whatever, whoever had the lead before the Rift magically decided to disappear, right? And so, those bugs aside, I'm going to just talk about the game mode itself, what I think of it. And I actually do think this is a good game mode and a good iteration to Crucible. And the reason why is because before things were very heavily focused on like kills and very little objective. Something that people talk about all the time on Reddit and in forums and in comments is, you know, no one captures the zones, no one captures the zones. So it feels nice to see kind of like the Destiny community or the PvP community at least be pushed in the direction of a playlist or a mode where the objective is so important and the after action report from each round pretty much only references the objective so that people start to play the objective. Hopefully the blueberries out there get out there and actually start capturing those zones after this, because that's how you win in Rift is you just play the objective as much as you can. There were a few issues with the way the game mode plays. I don't really know if there's any sort of remedies. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section below. One of them I noticed was like if you push forward and you got like three, like say you get like three Rift slams ahead of the enemy team, right? It's pretty hard for them to come back at that point. Like the snowballing effect is kind of there. I don't know if there's any way to fix that. And obviously, you get up by three, you could just grab the Rift and just milk the clock. If they start to bring any sort of comeback at all. So I felt like that was kind of the issue a little bit, where I was like, you're up by three or you're down by three, and it's like, it's done. It's over. You're not going to bring it back, especially if the timer is really low, because the rifts aren't. Each round isn't based on its own individual timer. Each round is based on a game timer, and so it would always leave like those last few minutes either painful that people didn't just kind of give up if you're up 4-0 or whatever, or it just made it feel like you really couldn't ever come back, like especially when the timer is so low, right, and you're already down by so much. So that was kind of one issue I had with it. Some other issues, the rezzing part, I can't tell if I like it or hate it. So the reviving became such a strong attribute for this playlist. You need to revive your teammates. If you play the revives, you're going to win. And that's why playing as a team was so much more advantageous than playing as a solo. I actually didn't go into the solo playlist at all this time. I just played in the teams, and I played with a team of 6 at the start, and then I played with teams of 2 and teams of 3 throughout the week and everything. So I wanted to get a good experience of what it would be like. But let me know what your solo queue experience was like, because I can only imagine that there's lots of people probably not reviving, and that equals the respawn like 10 seconds later and like way deep in the spawn, especially on the new map. And my thoughts on the new map are maybe a bit too big. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. But my overall impressions are that this game mode Rift does have a good place inside Destiny, and I do like how objective focused it is. I know it doesn't necessarily feel like the classic Destiny thing that we're used to, but I kind of like an objective place, an objective based mode inside PvP as being like a core playlist. So let me know your thoughts about that if you agree or disagree. And obviously try to put your frustrations with all of the bugs this week aside, because it was definitely extremely buggy. And Iron Banner will return again in week 10 of this season, I believe. So if you enjoyed it this week, you get a big delay to, forget all about it. If you were traumatized by all the reputation bugs and everything else, then you have to forget all about it, and then you can focus on it coming back again in week 10. And then obviously Bungie also said that every season hereafter they're going to try Iron Banner with a different mode. And if that's the case, then let me know in the comments what mode you think they should pick next time. We'll see what they come up with. Hopefully they come up with something new and original. That would be kind of fun, I think. As far as the rework goes, I do like the way they've done things here. The only issue that I felt like was that the weapons that we're chasing after are really not that like desirable. I feel like if you have like pinnacle end game activity, you should get like loot that's viable within the end game. Um, I would honestly only say like the Hero's Burden and the maybe the Wise and Rebuke. You know, it's like the not really the best archetype of fusions, but those are probably the only two usable weapons. I wouldn't really rock any of these others. Like Archon's Thunder is terrible. The Riz Walker is good, like if you get the right roll. So that's not too bad. Forger's Pledge is pretty average. Peace Bond, pretty average. Frontier Scribe, pretty average. Razor's Edge, very average. And then the SMG. And the SMG is probably the best thing to chase for in the Fusion. So I would definitely be way more motivated to play a ton of Rift Iron Banner if the loot was like super desirable, like, you know, some crazy slug shotgun, some crazy, 140 RPM hand cannon, pulse rifles, that are of the better archetype than the 390 RPM, like the Forger's Pledge, would definitely get me more into it, especially with the recent changes to flinch and airborne accuracy. Would definitely be cool to see some of these weapons be more focused on that. And then the other issue that I have with some of this is that like the origin trait seems to be not the best in my opinion. You've got the Skulking Wolf, which only really applies to Iron Banner. I really feel like it would be cool if the origin trait to these weapons was more focused to just Crucible in general. So my overall thoughts, I like Iron Banner Rift, 8 out of 10. Let me know if you agree or disagree down below. And let's wrap on this video. A lot of people requested me to give my thoughts and opinions on it. Again, make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Later.